Depending upon the demand of the situation, the manager can apply these principles creatively so that he can solve certain problems that arise in the factory premises. Before, in the ancient times when science was not developed, people used to use old rule of thumb. Being an employee or a worker in a particular organization, if you have got any demands, you can get it fulfilled in a diplomatic way. Hello everyone, this is Purna Chandra, Faculty, Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram. The subject which we are dealing is Management Principles and Practice. So today is the last, or it is the fourth session, which will be the last session. So we will be winding up with the first unit, that is Introduction to Management. We will recap what we studied in the last class. We studied the scope and functional areas of management, that is your functions of management. What are the different functions of management? You can call them planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. So this is what we discussed in the last class. Today's agenda is basically you will be understanding the principles of management, the difference between management and administration, and also the last topic for this unit, that is levels of management. So we will start with principles of management. See what it states. Principles of management are broad and general guidelines for management decision making and behavior. So what principles of management, what it does is it helps the manager in the process of decision making. That is, these principles, they act as guidelines for the managers to take better decisions. So it can be applied creatively according to the demand of the situation. So depending upon the demand of the situation, the manager can apply these principles creatively so that he can solve certain problems that arise in the factory premises. So this is the definition of principles of management. Now there are two types of principles of management. One is scientific principles quoted by F.W. Taylor and Henry Fayol's 14 principles of management. So we will understand one by one. So next we will go for scientific management. Now what is scientific management? Scientific management implies the application of scientific methods of study and analysis to the problem. So scientific management was mainly propounded by F.W. Taylor. So why he came out with scientific management is he wanted to use scientific methods to make the work simple, quick and easy. So he came out with the scientific management. So F.W. Taylor's scientific principles, he gave 4 scientific principles to the managers. So we will understand one by one. That is, first one is science, not a rule of thumb. Second one is harmony, not discord. Third one is cooperation, not individualism. And the fourth one is development of each and every person to his or her greatest efficiency and prosperity. These are the 4 scientific principles which F.W. Taylor has quoted. We will understand one by one. Science, not a rule of thumb. What does this mean? We will understand. There should be scientific study and analysis of job to replace hit and miss method. That is the old rule of thumb. That is, before, in the ancient times when science was not developed, people used to use old rule of thumb. What does this mean? That is, they used to try one method. If it is good, fine. If it is not good, they used to go for some other method. If it is good, fine. Or they used to do trial and error. That is old rule of thumb because they were not exposed to any scientific inventions. So what F.W. Taylor told is he wanted the work to be done in a scientific way. That is, he wanted people to go for science. So what does that mean? I will give one example. For example, you people are preparing sweets at home and you are selling it. For example, you people are preparing 100 sweets at home. and you are selling it. You are not making use of any kind of machineries like your mixie, your grinder, your oven or your refrigerator. You are making it through hand. You are making use of 10 employees and you are producing 100 sweets and you are selling. So now what you will do? You will go for science. That is, you will want to invest in certain machineries like your grinder or your mixie or your oven or your refrigerator. So now what happened? You replace the workers who are working with you before and you replace them with scientific machines. So now you are able to produce. So now you are able to produce 500 sweets. So before that, when you are using the old rule of thumb, you are producing only 100 sweets without science. Now we have applied science, you are using machines and you are able to produce 500 sweets. So which is better? Obviously producing 500 sweets will fetch you good results, means you can make more profit. So what F.W. Taylor did, he wanted to make, according to this principle, we should constantly experience and find out new techniques which make the work simple. That is, he made the work simple with machines and easy and quick. Before it was complicated, you were producing only 100 sweets. Now you have made use of machines and the work is simple, easy and quick. With the machines you are producing 500 sweets. This is replacing the old rule of thumb with science. So this is the first principle. We'll go to the next one. Harmony, not discord. What does this mean? So there should be complete harmony between management and workers in achieving organizational goals. What does this mean? That is, there should not be any kind of hatred between the management and the workers. This implies that there should be mental revolution. What does this mean? Mental revolution, that is, whatever has happened has happened. So from now on, both managers and workers will get along well. That is, they will work with harmony, not discord. When there is harmony, there will be better work. When there is discord, the work will be hampered. This is harmony, not discord. So next we will go to the third principle, that is cooperation, not individualism. What does this mean? There should be complete cooperation between the labor and the management. So what does this mean? Now, for example, there is one very good idea from the side of the labor. One worker has got very good idea to increase the sales or increase the productivity. But the manager is not listening to him. He is telling him that your work is only to do what I say. It is none of your business to give ideas to me. If such attitude is maintained by the managers, what will happen? There will not be any kind of cooperation between the managers and the workers. So if there is any good idea from the side of the workers, the manager should take it. So instead of individualism, management has to consider all good suggestions made by the employees. At the same time, workers should not go for strike to get their demands fulfilled. That is, being an employee or a worker in a particular organization, if you have got any demands, you can get it fulfilled in a diplomatic way instead of going for strikes and other kinds of retaliation. So this is cooperation, not individualism. So when there is cooperation, obviously work will be done well. This is the third principle, and now we'll go to the last principle of F.W. Taylor, that is development of each and every person to his or her greatest efficiency and prosperity. So what this principle is stating is, each and every person who are working in your organization, you should develop him to such levels that he works with his full potential, that is efficiency, and he prospers with his work. So we will understand this. To maximize production, all possible efforts are made to increase efficiency of workers. So how do you increase the efficiency of workers? The efficiency of workers, obviously, when you give them good training, development, they will be efficient. So that is the main motto here. Each person should be scientifically selected. What does this mean? So scientifically selected means you should select him in such a way that the job, the work which is assigned to him should suit his or her physical, mental and intellectual capabilities. So what does this mean? So this basically means that a worker who is good in finance should be placed in the finance department. Similarly, a worker who is good in advertising should be placed in the advertising department or the marketing department. And worker who is good in production can be placed in the production department. Likewise, when you give them tasks according to their interest and according to their specialization, they will be developed so that they can work with efficiency and also they prosper in their work. So these are the 4 principles of scientific management given by F.W. Taylor. So next we also go for work study developed by F.W. Taylor. So the main intention behind work study is F.W. Taylor, what he wanted to do is he wanted to study the work in 4 different aspects to make it simple, quick and easy. We will understand one by one. Time study, motion study, fatigue study and your method study. So first we will go for time study. So what is time study stating here is it determines the standard time taken to perform a well-defined job. So in time study what they do is they will determine a standard time. Like how? For example, they will make group of 5 workers, 5 groups, and they will take readings of each group. They will ask the 5 groups to perform the same job over and over again. So when they do the work over and over again, they will take readings. And finally, the group which has taken less time and has come out with a good work, that time will be selected as the standard time. So that is the standard time. So here the main intention for doing time study is to determine the number of workers, frame suitable incentive schemes and determining labor cost. So you fix standard time based on the readings, and the work, when it starts in the business, the worker has to perform the work that has been assigned to them within the standard time taken. So the work that has been assigned to the worker has to be completed within the standard time that has been established. So this is time study. There is an example. Standard time taken to do a piece of work is 1 hour. Then the same work can be done 8 times in a day when working hour is 8 hours. So this is the concept of time study. So next we go for motion study. So motion study, what it is doing is, motion study refers to the study of movements like lifting and putting objects, sitting and changing positions. So why do you conduct motion study is, you want to analyze whether the motions that are taking place in the business premises or factory premises is productive or incidental or unproductive. So on close examination of the body movements, it is possible to find out 3 types of motions. Motions which are productive. Productive motions are those motions which are according or as per the working norms. That is, these motions are productive for your business. This is productive. Motions which are incidental, I'll give an example for motions which are incidental. So the example is, the raw materials are over, now you have to call and you have to order for raw materials. So what you will do? You will take a call to the supplier and you will communicate him that raw materials are over and he has to supply the raw materials tomorrow. So that is required. But what you will do after communicating him with like this, what you will do? You will start speaking something personal. That is, you will start speaking about something, your friends or your family, which is not required. So what is required? You have to call him and you have to tell him that raw materials is over, and you have to just tell him that please supply by tomorrow. So there is no need of talking something which is personal. So this is motions which are incidental. Motions which are unproductive is, you're making groups, you're talking about movies, songs, you're using Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, which is not productive. So these 3 motions can be found out when you do motion study. So what F.W. Taylor told us, out of the above, unproductive motion should be eliminated. That is, your unproductive motion should be eliminated. The incidental motion should be minimized. So, and you keep only the productive motions. When you keep only the productive motions, what will happen? It will increase the productivity. That is, it is increasing the productivity. This is called motion study. So next we are going for fatigue study. What does this mean? So fatigue means when you are working in a factory or any kind of business, after a period of time you get stressed out. So that is fatigue. So we will understand what is fatigue study. It refers to determining the amount and frequency of rest intervals in completing a task. See, I'll give one general example of fatigue. So if the principal, they make a rule that you people have to listen to the class from morning 8 to 6 without any tea break or lunch break, will you people be able to do it? Obviously not, because you, after 2 or 3 years, you will be stressed out physically. You will be stressed out physically and mentally. So to ensure that you regain your stamina, what they'll give a tea break or a lunch break. So a person is bound to feel tired physically and mentally if he does not take rest while working. So what fatigue study states is there should be intervals which will help regain stamina and help the workers to work again with efficiency. So when you give tea break or lunch break, these workers, they can relax, they can rehabilitate themselves, they can replenish their energy and they can start working again. This is called fatigue study. So the next one is your method study. Objective of method study is to find out one best way of doing the job. See, in order to do any kind of task, there will be n number of methods. You should select such a method which is suitable for your organization and get the job done. So the different managers would use their own different methods of getting the work done, but there is always one best method. So what you have to do is, you should select that one best method and use it, so that you increase the productivity, you don't waste the raw materials and time, and you come out with better quality products. So this is called method study. Right from the procurement of raw materials till the final product is delivered to the customer, every activity is the part of the method study. That is, you should select the best possible method to do the job. So this is called method study. The main objective of method study is to minimize the cost of production. That is, there should not be any kind of wastage of raw materials and come out with good quality products. So this is method study. So with this, we are over with the scientific management. That is, we understood what is principles of scientific management given by F.W. Taylor, and we also studied the different studies, that is time study, your motion study, fatigue study and method study. So now we are getting into the 14 principles of management given by Henry Fayol. So before we get into that, we will understand what is Violism. Violism was a theory of management that analyzed and synthesized the role of management in organization. So this Violism theory was given by the French manager and management theorist Henry Fayol in the 1900. So what is this Violism? Henry Fayol argued that in addition to planning a manufacturing process, management should make sure that all the necessary resources, that is your raw materials and workforce, come together at the appropriate time of production. I'll explain this. Now you are carrying out a factory. So in order to convert the raw materials to the final products, you need both raw materials as well as workers. Now you have only raw materials, but workers are not present. You cannot carry out the operations. On the same contest, workers are present, but raw materials is not present also, you cannot carry out the activities. So what Henry Fayol did is, he wanted both raw materials and workforce to come together at the appropriate time of production so that you can carry out the operations well. This is called Violism. Violism, basically Henry Fayol, he was born in 1841 and he died in 1925, was a French mining engineer. He developed 14 principles of management based on his experience as a manager. These principles provide guidelines to the managers regarding how superior should organize his department and manage the staff. So basically these 14 principles are guidelines to the managers. So now we will understand the 14 principles one by one. First one is division of work. So what Henry Fayol insisted was he wanted to divide the work. That is, he wanted to make different departments, like finance related work will be done by the finance department, marketing related work will be done by the marketing department, and production related work will be done with the production department. The main reason for dividing the work was basically to eliminate confusion and repetition of work. This is division of work. Next is authority and responsibility. What does this mean? In a classroom, if a teacher, he asks you to write down the notes, that is, he is exercising his authority. And now, what is the responsibility of the students? They have to write down the notes. This is authority and responsibility. Now, when it comes to business, the manager will direct the workers to do the work. For example, the managers will tell the workers to produce 100 products today. So, he is telling the workers to produce 100 products today. So, he is exercising his authority. Now, what is the responsibility of the workers? They have to produce this 100 products and report to the manager. This is called authority and responsibility. When authority is exercised or delegated, responsibility comes on its way. Next is discipline. So, what Henry Fayol suggested is there should be discipline among the workforce. That is, they should abide by all the rules and regulations of the organization or the factory. They should not back answer to the managers. When there is discipline, people, they will work better. That is discipline. Next is unity of command. What is unity of command? So, unity of command is the workers should receive command from only one superior. There should not be two superiors. There should be only one superior who is giving the commands. Like what? Now, the production manager, he will give directions to the worker in the production department to produce 100 products. So, the workers in the production department should take the command only of the production manager. There should be only one superior giving command. This is unity of command. Now, what is unity of direction? So, unity of direction, basically what it means is, suppose the top level managers, they have implemented a plan. For example, they want to produce 1000 units. They want to produce 1000 units of a particular product. That is the plan. Now, the plan has been implemented. So, the work has begun. There is a direction of the work. Now, in the middle of the work, no one should intervene and alter the plan. When once the plan has been communicated and implemented, for example, there is a plan to produce 1000 products. Once it is implemented, it is final. You cannot alter it. So, there is unity of direction. Now, in the middle of the process, some other manager, he cannot come and say, produce 1500 units. So, what will happen if someone intervenes in the middle of the process and he demands 1500 products? Obviously, the quality of the products produced will come down and there will be confusion and repetition of work. So, that is unity of command. Now, sixth one is subordination of individual interest to general interest. What does this mean? First, we will understand what is individual interest. Then we will understand what is general interest. Then we will understand the whole thing together. What is the interest of an individual working in an organization? There is a worker working in the finance department. So, his interest is to do finance related work. Similarly, there is a worker working in the production department. His individual interest is to do production. Likewise, marketing department workers will do marketing related work. These are the individual interests. Now, the general interest is the success of the organization. That is, what is the success of the organization? To make profit. So, all these individual interests of the individuals in the organization should be subordinated to general interest. That is, to make profit. So, when these individual interests of different departments are subordinated towards the work, then you can achieve profit. This is called subordination of individual interest to general interest. Seventh one is remuneration of personnel or employees. So, remuneration of employees means there should be fair salary to employees. So when there is fair salary, they will work better. When you're not giving them fair salary, what will happen? There will be labor turnover. So when there is labor turnover, or when employees are not satisfied with the salary, they will leave the organization and join some other organization. So in order to retain the employee, you should give them fair remuneration, and also to ensure that the employees are working well, you should give them good salary. This is remuneration of employees. The eighth one is scalar chain. What is scalar chain? So scalar chain is nothing but the downward flow of authority from top to bottom. I'll explain. So you have got the top level, your middle level, and your lower level or supervisory level. So these are the levels of management. So what top level management will do? They will make a plan and they will communicate to the middle level. So what middle level will do? Middle level will implement the plan using the lower level or the supervisory level and get the work done. So this chain of authority from top to bottom is called your scalar chain. So next is centralization and decentralization. What does this mean? Centralization means all decision making authority will be with the top level. So whatever decisions pertaining to any activities will be taken by the top level. That is centralization. Decentralization means the decision making authority will be delegated down the scalar chain. That is, middle level managers also can take decisions. Even your supervisory level or your lower level or your operational level, they can also take decision, but pertaining to their departments. So this is called decentralization. In decentralization, certain decisions the top level only has to take, but certain other decision pertaining to the middle level managers or your lower level managers, they can take decision pertaining to their authority or their department. This is called decentralization. Next is order. In the principle of order, he wanted the activities to take place in a particular sequence or in a particular manner, so that there is optimum utilization of resources and quality of the product is enhanced. So he wanted order of sequence of activities. Next is equity. What is equity? Equity means all the workers should be treated equally. The managers, just because one of his friend or his relatives are working in the factory, he should not be biased or he should not be partial to them. That is equity. Then what is stability of tenure of personnel? So stability of tenure of personnel means, being a manager, you should make sure that there is no labor turnover. That is, the workers should be happy with the work and they should be willing to work for your factory for a longer period of time. That is, for many years. That is, you should maintain the stability of tenure of personnel or employees. So, for example, when you give good working conditions, when you give fair salary, obviously you can retain the employees. So the stability of tenure is ensured. When you're not giving good salaries, what will happen when the working condition is not good? People who are working in your organization, they will skip to some other organization. So to ensure the stability of tenure of personnel, what you have to do, you should give them good salary and good working conditions. 13th one is initiative. What does this mean? Initiative means you should give freedom to the workers to express their ideas. Suppose a worker has got very good creative idea. So what you do, you give him freedom to express his idea so that you can make use of those ideas. This is initiative. The last one is esprit de corps. This is nothing but your teamwork. That is, there should be unity among the workers. That is, workers who are working in the organization, they should be working like a team. There should not be hatred between people. There should not be groupism. Everyone should work as a team so that the organization goals can be achieved. That is, unity in diversity. So these are the 14 principles which Henry Fayol gave. So next we will skip to the next topic, that is administration. What is administration? We will understand the definition. Administration is the organization and direction of human and material resource to achieve desired goals. So administration is nothing but you are directing the workers or managers in your organization to implement certain plans which they have come out. This is called administration. So the nature of administration, it is universal. That is, wherever you go, if you administer the activities, you can do well. Holistic also, people can relate. Continuous and ongoing process, just like management, administration is also continuous and ongoing. That is, if you stop administration, things will go wrong. So it is goal oriented. Like management, administration is also goal oriented. You want to achieve something. For example, you people want to make a profit of 1 crore. So that is your goal. So you will come out with different plans to achieve that goal. That is goal oriented. It is social and human nature, because administration is mainly related to direction. So you have to understand the social and human nature of people when you are administering. So the next one is dynamic. Dynamic means, like management, administration is also dynamic. According to the changes in the environment, the style of administration should also change. Administration, like management, is creative and innovative. Depending on the situation, you can innovate your ideas, and you can also be creative in administering the activities. So this is the nature of administration. So next we will go to the difference between management versus administration. So we will understand this. Administration, the first point you people see, it is concerned about the determination of objectives and major policies of an organization. So administration, basically what they are doing is, they are determining the objectives and major policies. They will form certain plans and policies. That is their duty. So now you people, you understand what is management. So those plans and policies which are made by the administration, these plans and policies, what management is doing, it is putting these plans and policies into action. So management, it is putting into action. Administration, what it is doing, it is framing the plans and policies. So next we will go for the second point. Administration is decision making function. Yes, they will take decisions regarding the plans or policies or procedures. And here you come to management, it is an executive function. So what decisions administration have taken, they will execute those decisions. This is management. Now you see the third point. It takes major decisions of an enterprise as a whole. So those important decisions that the top level management has to make, they will make these administrators. So when you come to management, it takes decisions within the framework set by the administration. That is, for example, the finance manager will take decisions pertaining to finance department. The production managers will take decision relating to production department. Likewise, marketing manager will take decision marketing managers will take decision pertaining to the marketing department. So this is within their framework, they will take decisions. Administration, we call it as a top level activity, whereas management, you can call it as a middle level activity. Fifth one, it consists of owners who invest capital and receive profits. So in administration, they will invest money and they will take money. Investment is capital, and what money they take is profits. So when you come to management, it is a group of managerial personnel who use their specialized knowledge to fulfill the objectives of an organization. That is, management, what managers do, they are managerial personals. They use their specialized knowledge. Like finance manager will be having specialized knowledge about finance department. Production manager will be having specialized knowledge about production department. They use this knowledge to fulfill the objectives of the enterprise. This is regarding management. So next, it is popular with government, military, educational, religious organizations, and here it is used in only business enterprise management. You see the seventh point. Its decisions are influenced by public opinion, government policies, social and religious factors. What does this mean? Now administrators cannot take any decisions against the government policies, or he cannot take any decisions hurting religious sentiments of any particular religion. So if he does so, what will happen? He will have to face certain problems or certain bad consequences. So the decisions are influenced by public opinion, government policies, social and religious factors. So here its decisions are influenced by the values, opinion and beliefs of the manager. So if the manager is having good values and he is having good opinions, he will be very gentle with the workers. He will not pressurize them too much. So if he is having very bad values, bad opinions, he will try to take advantage of the situation and he will pressurize the workers. This is regarding the management. Eighth one, planning and organizing functions are involved in it. In administration, it is only planning and organizing functions. When you come to motivating, controlling are involved in it mainly, and it also involves like your functions what you studied in the last class: planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. So administration, it needs administrative rather than technical abilities. That is, you don't need any kind of technical skills to be an administrator, but being a manager you should have technical knowledge or abilities. Like how? Suppose if any machinery it breaks down in your factory, so you should be having some technical knowledge about that machinery, whether you want to replace it or whether you want to repair it. So it requires technical abilities. So when you don't have technical abilities as a manager, you will definitely have to face problems in your workplace. 10th one, administration handles the business aspects such as finance. So it is only related to finance. You invest money, you take money. So management handles the material resources and human resource. Here management, they handles the raw materials as well as the human resources. So these are the 10 points, the differences between management and administration which we have understood. So next we will go to the last topic of this chapter, that is levels of management. There are 3 levels, that is your top level, middle level and operational or supervisory level management. Top level management consists of CEO, chairman and president who will frame the policies or plans, and what they will do, they will communicate it with the middle level management. So middle level managers mainly consist of your finance, production, your human resource management, your marketing management, your sales manager, etc. So what middle level management will do is, what plans the top level managers have framed, they will implement those plans with the help of operational or supervisory level management, that is the supervisor, your foreman, etc. So these are the levels of management. So with this we have finished the chapter, that is introduction to management. Hope you people are understanding. Thank you.